Jayson, I like to start the show the way we do with every single guest. How would you finish this sentence? You know you're an entrepreneur when.
When I can't stop thinking about the business or working on the business. And everything I do is about connecting with people, things I have to do to continue relationships that I built or find new relationships. It just keeps spinning from one adventure to another. It just doesn't stop. Like I have
Yeah.
to unplug on purpose to take a break.
Oh, I feel like there's a story there because I agree that this work is an adventure for sure.
Yeah,
Is there a story the last
definitely.
time that you just couldn't stop? How did you help yourself stop when you need to? Because, right, sometimes those of us with families, like you have a big family,
Yeah.
sometimes we have to actually turn it
Yeah.
off. So, is there a story there?
Yeah, actually just recently. So it's called an intervention.
I love it.
I needed a break. Been praying about it, talking about it for a while. It's like I need off the merry-go-round for a while. So I just turned 50
Oh, happy
on
birthday.
the 19th.
Hmm.
Thank you. And so for my birthday was a weekend retreat. Took 3 days with no phone, no communication with the business, just trusted that it would all work out. And it did. It was awesome. Forced time off was what I needed. So
Yes.
it was
I love
good.
that. I love it because I usually say I have forced time off when I get sick. When one of the kids brings home something,
Yeah, right.
some type of sickness, I call that forced time off, but I like your version much better.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So you went away by yourself or with family?
It was a men's retreat with our church group. So
Yeah.
it
Okay,
was good
good.
just to get out and away in a different environment.
Oh, I love it. So tell us before we get too far into the show, what do you do? Tell us what businesses that you own. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to.
So currently I've got JHR photography, which is my photography. So it's the portrait, headshot, senior portraits, a little bit of commercial work. And that's what I like to photograph and shoot. And somehow over the years with my daughters being gymnasts, that morphed into a sports imaging and teams and volume type photography. So that's the company I run. I kind of separate in between there's my photography and then the business and the company that I'm developing. And so we do high volume events, competitions, team leagues, senior banners. So I'm still plugged in with the seniors, still plugged in with the same age group. It's just in a different capacity.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so wow, we're going to get into about how you manage those two things because to some of us on the surface those sound really related. Okay, there's cameras involved. But I know after digging in
Yeah.
some of your work before, yeah, there's cameras involved, but that might be where it all ends. Although you
Yeah.
did just say there's some seniors involved too. Yeah, very
Yeah.
different worlds for sure. Okay, so tell me, what's your story? What led you to entrepreneurship? Was there a specific moment, event, or an experience, maybe something that told you this would be your life's work?
Well, growing up, so I'm 50 now, so this is like half a century worth of history.
The show is gonna be
My
long,
family's always
folks,
been,
really, really long
yeah.
today.
So my family's always been in business. So I grew up in business that they owned restaurants. We had a Mexican restaurant that my grandparents started in 1964 that's still open. All the uncles had some part of it. They had the tortilla factory and the store that went with it. So we always worked in and around that, all the cousins and all the uncles. And my dad had restaurants, so I worked there. I went to college at USC, so Trojans, not South Carolina. And I moved to Tennessee. I didn't know you had to specify those two. So, but I went to school for entrepreneurship. So I knew that I wanted to be in business. And even in high school, I was always, buying, selling, trading things. Went to school for entrepreneurship, stayed in the restaurant business. When I met my wife, we opened a restaurant, or my dad bought it first and then we took it over. So we ran a restaurant up until September 11th. It was a successful little Mexican joint. It was cool. We were doing
Yeah.
Mexican food delivery before Uber Eats ever existed.
Oh my gosh.
Um, so and we were killing it.
I
It was
this
good.
podcast should go on the road because I bet you 2 can still cook up something pretty great in the kitchen, and this we yeah, we
Oh,
gotta take this
yeah.
show on the road sometime.
Yeah.